Yes guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another guest on the channel with me, Mr. Pennell. Won't share too much about his story, but this guy turned £400 into £10,000 in just 90 days doing reselling. So I'm gonna ask him a few questions and you can hear this guy's story, how he almost went into kind of the cycle of going into university, but instead took that leap, started a business, and now he's just hit £10,000 in 90 days. So yeah, Morgan, just introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Morgan, I'm 18 and I started my clothing business about 5 months ago. It started actually, my friend in school had just ordered a big bale of Ralph Lauren stuff and he just told me that he'd ordered about 50 kilos of Ralph Lauren clothing for like £400. And obviously I was like, what? There's no way that that's actually real. But then I started searching up wholesalers and stuff online and I found one that was quite appealing, who we obviously now end up working with.
Yeah, that's true. Which we'll touch on later actually, because I got a few questions regarding that as well. So.
Yeah, so I bought my first bale, which was 50 pairs of Ralph Lauren chinos, which I had no clue at the time if it was going to do well or not, and it really broke my bank. It's like the last £400 that I had. And there was a video that I've made, and there's actually a clip, and I've got like 1p left in my bank account after buying.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
So it came. I filmed a video for it and it ended up getting about 80,000 views, basically talking about how I was going to try and flip it into £10,000. And yeah, they sold really well. In the first month, I flipped, I think 43 pairs out of the 50. And obviously I was buying them in at £4 a piece and they were selling for between 25 to 30. And I thought, if I do this with 2 or 3 bales a month, that's, £5,000, £6,000 that you're making, and that's a full-time job, so.
Yeah. What was your background then? Because you were going to go to university, so how did that start?
Yeah, so I was working part-time at a leisure centre, and I still do one shift there every 3 months.
Oh yeah, to get that free gym membership.
And yeah, it was just at college. I was playing rugby for Harlequins Academy.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
For until the under-18s. So the college I went to was basically where all the academy boys went to school, and we all played there as well during the first part of the season. And then, yeah, really, I was going to go to uni at Bath, got offered my place, and there was a month where I did, I think, 6.5k. And I was like, why would I go to university? If you can do this every month, that's a lot more than you're going to make when you come out with your degree. So. Yeah,
because I remember, I think it was, when did you join? So Morgan went through my coaching, I forgot to mention that. So he joined, was it June, maybe?
Yeah,
July, August, September, October, about June. So you've been reselling for how long at that point?
Like 2 months, I think.
2 months, yeah. And I remember ringing you, even 2 months into the coaching, and you were saying, yeah, I'm going to go uni and stuff like that. Because you were talking about, because your brother's a accountant, is it?
Yeah.
And you were saying how you were going to go down that route. And I think I actually said, I don't know, just see how it goes this next month. And it just took off from there, didn't it? So why did you pick resale? I know you briefly touched on it, but what was appealing about it? Did you like fashion already? What made you want to start?
Yeah, 100%. The thing for me, I've always been into my clothing and fashion and stuff. So the fact that I was getting all of these designer brands for such cheap, it was just heaven for me, really. And then obviously the money came with it. And then the side part of that, a big thing for me was around freedom and freedom of being able to work where I want and when I want, etc. So the fact that I could work out of my own home and wasn't being forced to go anywhere for a specific time was just a really big thing for me. So reselling just fit that category. Yeah.
So what was the first thing you bought? Sorry, you said you bought
chinos.
Chinos, and then how did it kind of snowball from there?
Yeah. So the chinos was the first one, and obviously that they were doing well. So I invested into another 100 pairs after that, and then I sort of moved into the Ralph Lauren stuff, like the quarter zips and jumpers and that kind of thing, because that's always just been a really popular thing in the reselling industry. I've had some hit or miss items before, been sold some fakes and stuff like that. So it really is obviously important to know where you're getting your stuff from and that making sure that it's genuine. But it's been really successful so far.
Yeah, and it's not just the reselling anymore, is it? Because, and this is one thing I always say, is you got to look for other opportunities along the way. So it's not just reselling for us anymore. We've got different partnerships with different brands, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we are promoting people that we use and we can vouch for. There's a reason why we promote certain brands, not just for a week, but potentially for months at a time. So yeah, obviously we both work with vintage wholesale suppliers. So how did that come about, and how's that been for you? Because it is difficult, because you're promoting a wholesaler that you use, but then at the same time, it's if you haven't watched my vlog yet, you can see the scale they're working on, and obviously they pump loads of money into adverts. And it's like, if you haven't seen vintage wholesale supply yet, then you're obviously living under a rock. So to us, it doesn't actually damage us as much as I thought it would. And obviously with the vintage market just constantly growing and scaling, I feel like there's just enough for everyone to kind of have. So was that ever a worry for you working for Wholesale, and how does that look now?
Well, it all started really when Jacob, the founder, he reached out to me after seeing some of my TikTok videos and the series that I was making. And I was obviously, at the time, this was like my first ever deal, like commission-based kind of thing. So for me, it was just a win-win. I could promote my stuff, get more eyes on my shop, and at the same time earn some money through commission, etc. And yeah, it hasn't really damaged me at all too much. There was a little bit of time where they had some issues with their shipping, and you almost had people thinking that you were the brand, even though you're kind of
so
just
many
promoting
messages.
it.
My order is Web 3179. Where's my tracking? I'm like, bro, I don't work for them.
Yeah, well, people will be like, oh, it's 2 months later, where is my stuff? And I was like, it's not me that sold it to you. But no, they've been really helpful, and having that partnership obviously allows you to get clothes in quickly and just in scale, and sometimes they'll be offering you really good deals as well. So I can't say that I haven't benefited from it massively.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's been really successful.
Yeah, because people because wholesalers are bigger than us in like top of the tree, it's like people kind of abuse that and are onto their backs all the time. But that's the equivalent of one of your customers on your back all the time and messaging you and commenting on your posts. Because even the reel I posted with VWS like 2 days ago, someone was commenting, where's my order, where's my order? That's the equivalent of like me buying an item from you, commenting on your post, where's my order? Or messaging who's someone else we know from reselling, where's my order from Morgan, stuff like that. Like, you've got to respect them. And but yeah, it's definitely important to build relationships with wholesalers, because it's like you said, it's helped you so much and helped me definitely as well. But back onto the 10,000 man, how did that feel? Like, truly, how did that feel to hit 10 grand? Because that reel you posted the other day was sick, and it got me like, oh my God, Morgan. Hit 10 grand in like, what, 90 days? How did that feel?
Yeah, it's crazy, to be fair. Like, because obviously working part-time, you're not making more than £1,000 a month. And it really, like, reality kind of hits you when you start to realize that this is what like grown adults are making, and you're doing it at 18. And to hit it and have the journey as well and be able to document it all and look back at it, it's just like a nice thing to be able to go through. Because
that's one thing I like, is you've documented the entire journey. What advice would you give to people out there that are wanting to start content? Because that's one thing a lot of people are asking me, is like, how do I increase my chances of sales and growth? And obviously I always say, turn back to your brand, don't neglect your brand and who you are. So what advice would you give to people that are like not sure where to start, what to do, like start with YouTube, TikTok, and yeah, how did that look for you?
Personally, I would probably start going through TikTok and Instagram if I was to start. And for me, the biggest thing was just starting. Like, you don't necessarily know what you're going to be posting about or that kind of thing, but it's just about getting yourself out there, getting confident behind the camera. Yeah. Because like people say it all the time, that you need to have content in order to like create value, like going forwards. And it's just an absolute goldmine. Being able to create a personal brand just brings in so many different like opportunities for you to work with people, and it's just like almost just easy money, really. Yeah, it gets yourself out there, and obviously social media is like the only free way of advertising at the moment. Obviously you can do things like handing leaflets out and chucking a sticker on your car, but like you can reach 1,000 people, 2,000 people overnight just like that, and it could be a simple video. But one thing I like, Liam Miller, if you're watching this, he was at one of the networking events I went to. One thing he said is like, just take different people's like little things. So I like the way Morgan might use transitions, or the way he might speak, or the way he outros his videos, but then it might be something from someone else that I like. And if I just kind of put it all together into its own cake mixture, you've almost created your own kind of content. It's like, who did you take not advice from, who did you take inspiration from? Apart from me, obviously, not joking. Is there anyone you took advice from, if anyone, or how did you? I wouldn't even say so. I think I've always tried to be original with the content that I've been doing, and when it comes to social media, such a wide range of people that you're never going to be able to impress everyone. No. So just be yourself. For me, it was more grab the audience's attention. So at the start of most of my videos, if you look back to my 400 pound to 10k playlist, it's me just screaming whoop or something like that, or jumping over a bin. Give us your famous. Yeah, that would be like at the end of every video. And it's just those little things that make people remember you and want to stick with your journey. It's really good. It's about creating a story that people want to get behind. Yeah. And I think that's the best way to grow, really. You're giving us all the sauce. Keep it coming.
And obviously you went through the coaching, so I can't remember how that happened, but yeah, obviously I opened up some coaching spots back in May or June. Morgan was one of the first guys, and I honestly was like, I need to work with this guy. I love the challenge that you're doing and wanted to help you get there. So what made you opt in for the coaching? Because I don't think you knew who I was. I know obviously he knew about me through Jacob, but he didn't actually know who I was necessarily. But
Nah, I've always been a big fan of having mentors just in everything that I've gone through, like whether it be sport or school and that kind of thing.
yeah, that's true.
And the school that I went to, Christ Hospital, was just like, it was a very much a community place. Like, it's a bit of a weird one, but in most secondary schools, if you're in year 7, you're not going to know the people that are in year 11 and 12. Whereas where I went to is a completely different culture. And when I was in year 7, I was pretty much known by a lot of the year 12. It was really important to build those relationships with people older than you and people that are already at where you want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought it'd be a really good idea, especially obviously seeing you in all the news articles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I knew it'd be a good decision to make. But yeah, I just agreed that you should just invest in yourself always. And
what issues are you thinking you might have 6 months down the line? And that's one thing I try and prepare the guys for, is like, right now, because we had 1 or 2 guys leave because they were like, I don't need the help right now. But it's like, well, you've got to plan ahead as well, because in 6 months' time, there might be a challenge that might come up. And if you had stayed, I mean, I touched on warehousing and all sorts. I go into detail on cash flow. It might not matter in this current moment in time, but obviously that's going to stick with you forever now. And one of the guys actually messaged me the other day, was like, what you told me 2 months ago has actually really helped me now. I'm going through that process. And I was like, yeah, that's why it's always good to prepare 6 months down the line, a year down the line. So yeah, what was one thing you were like, okay, I'm going to need help with this, or you were actually struggling with?
yeah, no, the biggest thing, 100%, is obviously you were at where I needed to go. So with all of the expansion, like dealing with going from 50 pairs of clothing to 500 pairs, it's a big difference. And just the advice on how to handle that and how to organize, like get your systems in place for your business so that you can streamline everything and make it most efficient. Because obviously when you start to expand, it can become a real mess if you really don't know what you're doing and you don't have the right systems in place.
Yeah, systems can be anything as well. It doesn't have to be like managerial structures and stuff, especially if you're a one-man band, which we are. But even just little things like having a label printer just completely changed the game. It's such a small investment, but it just streamlines everything. Like I used to dread packing orders, whereas now I just plug it in. Even with the new updates on Tilt and Vinted, like just being able to plug your laptop into a label printer, labels are there, bang, done, drop them off, like it's sorted. And those just little things streamline everything. Yeah. Even when you come to employing people, which is one thing I'm looking at, especially now because I've employed my first member of staff, like helping with employment as well. And obviously as I go along as well, there'll be more things that I can help Morgan with and other people as well. And Morgan was in the coaching for a certain period of time, but obviously we've built a friendship now. This is the first time I've actually met him today. So, but yeah, we've built up a friendship, and like he said, now it's like almost a community, and a few other guys that are in the coaching as well, we're good friends with, and we're doing things together now, which I'll tell you more about in a few minutes. But yeah, it's not just something that is over a period of time.
I'm quite enjoying this, to be fair.
Are you? Yeah. And then last thing as well is like, what's next for Motion Over Idleness? That's his brand name as well, which I think is class. Brandon didn't even realise what it meant until like a day ago. Motion over, I just read it as one word, like Motion Over Idleness, but I was like, what does that actually mean? But yeah, it's a good name. But yeah, what's next for you coming up?
Well, I've recently moved into my new unit. It's just a small like 6x3 meter place, but I think really just trying to fill that out and get as many items listed as I can. I'm trying to aim to get to around 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, that's where you want to be, yeah.
Hopefully in a couple months' time, and then kind of hit that 10K month. That's my biggest goal that I've been setting out.
Yeah, we'll get you there, definitely.
Which we aren't too far away from, to be honest. And yeah, when I saw the numbers from last month, I was like really pleased, and it just boosts you and gets you to, like, really motivated me to work hard for this month, especially coming up to Christmas and Q4, etc.
Yeah.
That's the biggest time for us.
Yeah, got to capitalise on now, just e-com in general, this time of year, it's just going to be huge. I ask everyone this, but what platform? What's best for you? I know it's hard because you sell on eBay, Depop, Vinted and Tilt.
Depends, man. I have to say I'm split between Depop and Vinted. Obviously, I've had a couple of like cool moments where Depop have invited me to places and done a couple of collabs and stuff like that. So it's kind of almost favouring me in that way. But I do like Vinted because what you sell it for is what you get. Whereas obviously with Depop you do have like the processing fees, etc., which can be a bit annoying. Like when you know that you sold something for 25 and you're only getting 22 for it.
That's true.
So I'd say I probably enjoy listing up, and like I like having my Depop page up and the interface, but just making a sale on Vinted is the better feeling.
Yeah, because you know then it's not going to take you 6 hours to pack an order and send it out. Although, do you use Depop shipping or do you use?
Yeah.
Well, okay, because I use Royal Mail, so I was like, print all the labels off and drop it. I don't think I'm actually going to have to use Royal Mail again, because I was thinking Tilt are using every.
Yeah.
Vinted don't use Royal Mail. I mean, you get 1 in every 20 orders. Yeah. But I don't think I'm ever going to have a Royal Mail collection again, because obviously I'm not on Depop anymore. But yeah, I've noticed you've done quite a bit with Depop, so you kind of respect that. And you featured on the Instagram page and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
What's your coolest achievement to date? Like something like that. What's your favourite thing you've done?
I think the Depop headquarters visit was quite cool and quite surreal, really. It was more of kind of just like a networking event in the end. Like they gave us a presentation, but you know, just being able to meet others and being in that community. Because like I've said this before, but we know that sometimes when you go down the route of entrepreneurship and stuff, it gets a bit lonely.
Isolated, yeah.
So obviously just trying to meet like-minded people, whether it be in your business or not in your business, but people that understand where you're coming from and can assure you that it doesn't stay like that forever.
Yeah. And what's the most amount of views you've had on? Because Morgan's TikTok, I'll put it in the description, but you've got how many followers on there?
I've got 21k on TikTok, I think, and almost 10. Close to 10.
Go follow him. I think, to be fair, if everyone in this video follows you, you should hit 10k. So, and then Morgan will treat me to dinner tonight. But yeah, what's the most amount of views you've had on a video? I know you're just consistent with it though, so.
I ended up doing some skits with my girlfriend on Vinted. Was it Vinted? You know how people would make the videos about like the awful packaging that would come in for Vinted parcels. So I made a couple of skits.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So it's like I put an item inside like a washing up liquid bottle. I don't know how. I literally stuffed like a whole
t-shirt. Should we do it today? Should we redo it?
Yeah,
I'm actually down.
And then I put like the Vinted mailing bags from TikTok Shop onto it, and I think that got over 1 million views. So that was a good one. I'm trying to think my other best videos have been. I've had a lot of the unboxings get a lot of traffic. Obviously because you've got the big bail was quite a big like eye-catching thing at the start of a video for the audience, but being able to show people that you can actually buy these designer clothes for this like cheap price when you get like 2 of them brand new for like £300.
Yeah, those ones, I've noticed you do those quite a lot.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's a video idea that I actually came up with just randomly when I was doing one time, and it blew up, so I just stuck to it. And now every time I get a bail, I'll make a video in this exact same format, showing that you can get obviously all of the clothing for like a small price, and then you can get obviously 2 brand new ones for the exact same price. Yeah. And it's just like,
because people can, I sometimes feel guilty for doing the same video idea on TikTok, but then because people see a bit of consistency there, so they'll follow you for that series. Like, oh, what's this? Oh, he's just posted his next 2 Tommy knits into like however much they're worth. Like people just follow it then for that. Like there's a few YouTubers that I watch on TikTok. It's like, oh, they've just posted a new series of this style of video, and it has people hooked then, because it's just for entertainment purposes. It's whatever itches someone's scratches someone's itch. Yeah, that's the one. So now I'm so excited to announce that, well, you probably would have already seen my Instagram, that I have reopened my coaching spots, very limited spots. But the second announcement is Morgan's going to be a part of that. So you're not only going to get mentored by me, but Morgan himself as well, the man behind Motion Over Idleness, the guy that took his £400 to £10,000, and how he just invested everything into his business. His story is so impacting. So you're going to get the opportunity to get coached and mentored by him. So if you are interested, then click the link in the description. You can apply there. You're not obligated to do anything, sign up to anything. Just put your details in. Let us know if there's any questions you might have. Go follow both of our Instagrams. Feel free to reach out to either of us. But yeah, super excited to launch it. Get in this straight away, because we don't know how quick the spots are going to fill up. Appreciate you all watching. YouTube, you've got a YouTube channel now, am I right in saying?
Yeah, same as the Instagram handle, so Resells with MMAP.
Yeah, go follow that. I know you just posted a YouTube video. Have you actually filmed the YouTube video?
I filmed it, haven't posted it.
Not posted yet.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. But yeah, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next video.